before you wanted the war. Now you wanna talk before you wanted the war. Now you wanna talk before you wanted the war. Now you wanna talk.
Alright everybody, welcome to the latest installment of Boxing Addiction Ready to Ramble. I'm Mike D.
The Ghetto Phenom, Ishmael H.
And Eve Easy.
The biggest thing in the past couple weeks probably that stood out in everybody is the Quartey and Forrest fight. Okay, everybody saw the fight, everybody's got an opinion of it. It was seen to me that the fight was a clear-cut victory for Quartey. I thought he landed all the significant punches, harder punches, cleaner punches. He was the aggressor. He was coming forward. I thought maybe Quartey might have pulled it out 7-3, possibly, maybe 6-4. But I definitely thought it was a clear-cut victory for Quartey. What are you guys' thoughts on the fight?
I agree. I really don't see it. This is one of those fights like De La Hoya Mosley 2, where no matter how many times I watch the fight, I'm just not going to agree with the decision. I'm not going to agree with the people that say, no, I saw it the same way as the judges. It was a close fight. It was this and that. For me, I really can't see giving Forrest more than about 4 rounds. And, you know, I'm a big Vernon Forrest fan.
Right.
He threw more punches, yes, but his connect percentage was a lot lower. Ike was pushing him back the whole fight. He was connecting with the jab. He was showing a left hook, you know, consistent left hook that he hadn't shown in the past. And he pretty much set the tempo, set the pace, landed the significant punches in the bout. So I don't know how Forrest got that decision. I don't know what the judges were watching.
Right, and I scored the bout myself 6-4 without the point deduction. In the seventh round, I think it was the low blow. And so with scoring at 6-4 minus the point deduction, you're right. I am, I'd argue that Quartey got robbed a little bit.
And the fact that it was a unanimous decision.
Right.
And one judge, even with, like you brought up the point deduction, had it 96-93 with the point deduction.
Right.
No.
I think there's got to be some type of system developed with these judges because we keep having poor decisions. We keep seeing the same judges pop up. You know, every championship fight, there's a pool, probably about 9 or 10 judges that we see for every fight. I think there needs to be some type of commission or review board that kind of, grades their judging performance. I mean,
exactly. You know, that's the way they do in the NFL. They grade your marks every game. I mean, calls that you miss, where you don't par with what everybody else saw as far as your decision making. And then at the end of the season, the guys that have the highest markings and the highest grades, those are the guys that are selected for doing the playoff games. And then this was almost as clear cut as you're going to get. And decisions like this don't help the sport.
Exactly. And then you got to understand, boxing is one of the sports more known for betting. People like to bet on boxing.
Right.
And you putting your money down and the fight's over, you jumping up and down with the winner like, yeah, Quartey, and they announce a decision, and then you feel as bad as them because you done lost your money that you should have won on. So got to do something.
What's next? HBO just announced that they're going to be the headliner. Winky Wright is going to be headlining a pay-per-view on December 6th. Could you see either one of these guys being on the other side of Winky Wright on December 2nd, and that maybe being an interesting matchup?
I think so, and I think, with Forrest getting the nod, and with it being such a controversial decision, both guys could go onto a high-profile fight from this decision that we got. I wouldn't mind seeing Quartey and Wright or Forrest, either one. I think a lot of people were afraid of possibly a boring fight between Forrest and Quartey. I thought it was mildly entertaining.
Oh, it was a good fight.
It wasn't what
a decent fight.
Right, exactly. It wasn't what I expected. So I wouldn't mind seeing either one in there with Wright.
Now, how do you think they would fare? Either one, Vernon Forrest or Quartey?
I like Quartey. Quartey would be a closer fight, I think, with Wright.
Okay.
I think that Wright would. I wouldn't say dominate Forrest, but I think he'd get the best of Forrest over 12 rounds.
Okay.
I might disagree. I think that Quartey would make a more exciting fight, because Quartey is going to come forward a lot more than Vernon Forrest will. Vernon Forrest has sort of a similar style where he relies a lot on the jab and his straight right. But I think that Winky Wright probably beats Quartey easier. I think Vernon Forrest will probably make it a closer fight, but I don't think it would be as entertaining.
Okay, well, that brings up another point. I don't mean to stray off, but do you think that it was possible the layoff and maybe potential injuries that Forrest had leading up to the fight, you think that affected his performance?
Yeah, I think that...
Because he wasn't sharp.
No, he wasn't sharp at all.
Wasn't accurate.
No, he wasn't sharp or accurate at all. He threw a lot of punches at times in the fight, but it wasn't effective punches.
Right.
You know, he threw a bunch of punches and combinations, but it wasn't doing anything to Quartey. It wasn't backing him off. It wasn't, throwing him off his game. I mean, he did get hit with a solid uppercut, I think, in the third round, which he was really hurt at that point, but that was the only time I saw Quartey in real trouble. He grabbed onto Forrest for dear life.
I'm going to disagree a little bit. I thought Forrest was pretty sharp. He did have a long layoff. I think after about the third round or so, he saw the effects of his left arm injuries, where he didn't jab as much, he didn't jab as crisp. But he looked better than I thought he would. Like we said, it was a better fight than we thought. He wasn't terribly accurate, but he showed he could still throw some combinations. He showed he could still, land the right hand. He showed he still had pretty decent ring movement. So I thought he was pretty sharp. He wasn't his best. It wasn't an A+ Vernon Forrest. I'd give him a B- maybe.
Okay. As usual, which has become the norm in the sport as of late, we had a conflicting show on Showtime in which we had two of the main marquee brothers in the sport, aside from the Klitschko's, the Marquez brothers. Very exciting, very skilled, very underrated. All of us got a chance to see their fights. What did you all think? Is Juan still one of the elite featherweights in the sport? Does he have a chance of beating the other top featherweights in the sport?
I think so. I thought it was a good fight. It was a tough fight for both fighters, and we saw it on Juan Marquez's face afterward. I believe his left eye was almost swelled shut.
Right.
But there in the KO in the 7th, I believe it was.
Right.
He was firing off combinations to the body, to the head, that I just couldn't believe how hard and sharp those punches were.
Yeah, Juan Manuel Marquez, he definitely, and I didn't know what to expect. We didn't see the Chris John fight, which we know was a lot of people are saying it was a robbery, but I still had my doubts. But he still was sharp, crisp. One of the best technicians in the game. They're getting up there in their boxing years, but I think both of them are still sharp, especially Juan Manuel.
And Rafael also. Rafael actually should probably be considered for pound top 10. Over the last 4 or 5 years, he's been very dominant. 2 wins over Too Sharp Johnson before he really got up there in age and had all the mileage on his body. And also, let's not forget, he was the first man to beat Tim Austin, who at the time was on a lot of pound-for-pound lists. And, he had a clear-cut knockout victory, no controversy. And, that got his momentum going, and it really hasn't stopped. Unfortunately, due to promotional issues, we really haven't got a chance to see him showcase, but I definitely think he's pound-for-pound material and a potential superstar in the sport, especially with his move up to 122. Right?
Yeah, I think, and I've long said this before it became kind of popular. I was saying Rafael may actually be the better, more exciting fighter. When you're down in those small bantamweight, type of weight classes, it's not a lot of popularity. Not a lot of people watch
good fights,
little guys fight, but they're a good fight. So
Israel
hopefully,
Vazquez, Juan Guzman, Johnny Gonzalez.
Yeah, hopefully with him moving up, he's going to be able to get some more marquee fights. And like you said, his promoter needs to keep him on TV. Don't hide him on pay-per-view.
If he was with Golden Boy Productions, he'd be a superstar. Because Golden Boy's going to get dates. They have the roster where they can keep him active. And he's going to be on pay-per-view. He's going to be on HBO. And I think they really flourish on the Golden Boy Productions. I think they just signed with Gary Shaw, so, likelihood of that. But Gary Shaw's a good promoter. He'll keep him active. He'll be better than they were doing.
And so thanks for watching this edition of Boxing Addicts Ready to Ramble. Go check us out at boxingaddiction.com. I'm the Ghetto Phenom.
MD, Mike D.
And Eve Easy.
Peace.
Peace.